first opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. Here's Kai Forbath now to get us started. And we are underway from the Superdome. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man complete. A huge play there right off the bat. 43 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his left. Wide open receiver complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Lucky 56. Gun.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Will Fuller, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. What's good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Hey, check 26. Rio going.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can grab it.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 45 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. On play action, they'll throw. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now at a 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
319!
And an alley to run. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey!
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And this is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a gain there of 11 yards. Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, second down.
Inside.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll run it here. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Marcus Gilchrist there to bring him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
He sets to fire deep. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for the Saints. 48 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Over!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to think my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Throw left side complete. That's Bird. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Gone!
He'll drop to throw. Now he's flushed out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Jamison Crowder with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now this time Rodgers will throw. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half. I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half. Lutz with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they? Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right? Unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience. Yeah. You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Check. 319. 319.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. That's it, baby.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this.
Kelly. Hey, we got...
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
319.
To throw is Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to sling this deep, and that's caught inside the 35. A big play there just before halftime. 49 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. Finding now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So it's halftime here, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Again, it's Jones. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A tackle that time by Akella Witherspoon.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
4 down. Check. Hey, check 26. 55. Hey, where y'all going? Watch the slap.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Out to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Gone! All right, here we go.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get 9 yards on the keeper there, but it's still going to leave him with a 3rd and 1. The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Mike 55.
And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And the grab by Croft. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He finds his target, Fuller. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a 1st down. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Saints are pouring it on. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of it. It was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So they have the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Watch it now, buddy.
They'll give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Woo! You got him. You got him. You got him. Flex round! Flex round!
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. But fortunately, in the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction. And that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. And now the Packers get set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Back to throw now on 1st down. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is caught at the 8. Touchdown, Packers! As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Hot, hot.
Now back to throw. He may try and run for this. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too.
319.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Here's a give to Richard. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Saints, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.